welcome once again to yet another edition of WDW After Dark, your show about discussion on the Disney parks, Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney food, entertainment like Marvel Studios. We have got Lucasfilm and Star Wars and so much more. We're here with our talking heads. And before we get into this week's news and Disney discussion that we go into every single week live here on Blab Tuesday nights, let's talk about how you can support our show. We handle it for free for you. We put it up there for your consumption on YouTube, iTunes, where, by the way, you can leave us those 5-star reviews and comments. Everything helps us out. And you can also tweet to your friends that you're watching WDW After Dark. You can book your trip with Kristen of Magical Journeys Vacations. There she is right there on your screen, Miss at Dining at Disney. She is not only a great travel agent, but she will book you and save you money, whether you go to that Devil Park over there at Harry Potter World, also known as Universal, or the Walt Disney World or Disneyland Resorts, or any cruise or adventures by Disney. She can hook you up there at magicaljourneysvacations.com. Links there at wdwafterdark.com. Also, Amazon. You can shop using our links, and every time you do, you give us a little kickback, and that is awesome that Amazon does that. A lot of great deals, the stuff that you want every day there by using our link there at wdwafterdark.com. You can also find links to Fandango and let's see what else we got. We got Fandango and T-Blocks and so much more. I tell you what, your one-stop shop for everything there at wdwafterdark.com, and you can support our show. And now on with WDW After Dark.
WDW After Dark, now loading.
WDW After Dark. WDW After Dark. Live and uncensored. Starring Jeff Davis, Al Jonko, Kristen Hetzel, and Eric Allen. WDW After Dark is live and uncensored. Call the hotline at 410-98-WDW-AD. Follow us on Facebook at WDW After Dark Webcast and Twitter at WDW After Dark. Headline news: Disney food, video games, Marvel and Star Wars. WDW After Dark. Live and uncensored. And now prepare yourself for WDW After Dark.
Wonderful and marvelous. I love that. I love the Epcot music in the background. You can't hear it here on the video show, but I'm putting it in the audio show. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's called editing. And even though I wasn't here last week, I was with you in spirit because we were putting up the show. And once again, the Disney discussion was flowing, and I love it. The chat room was happening, and I really enjoyed the Disney discussion from last week about Marvel.
You didn't dub yourself in on the audio part, did you?
Oh, yes. There was actually a subliminal backwards track that was masked. So when you play the show, it's like, and then of course it says everybody shop at www.afterdark.com. So no, really, I didn't do that. I don't. No,
you did. You've treated us all like we're the Winter Soldier, and you're subliminally putting things into our brains.
What is your
report?
Okay, all right.
Yeah. What is the Hydra report? The 7 deadly code words on Jeff. Would it be Batman? Would be Batman, Ram truck, Hemi,
hat, Razorback.
Razorback, yeah, blue water,
Cape May,
escargot,
Scorpion.
And then all of a sudden, Jeff goes all Winter Soldier on everybody.
Exactly.
Welcome to WDW After Dark, and we are glad to be here. Thank you so much for pressing play in support of our show, where you're live on Blab every single Tuesday, and we put this show up on YouTube and iTunes the next day. So we do appreciate it, and thank you so much for joining us. For the past almost 6 years, something like that. It's been ridiculous how many years we've been doing this. But having said that, I lost count, yeah. But I'm Al John Go, one of your co-hosts and Talking Heads, lifelong Disney fan, Marvel and Star Wars fan, joined by our panel of super fans. It's a Super Friends roundtable. Yes, I did do a DC reference just for Jeff on that one. We're joined by Miss Dining at Disney, the hostess with the mostest, Disney author, travel guru, Miss Kristen, Dining at Disney. What's up?
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for being here. I didn't think you'd make it on time.
Okay. I know.
But you're here.
Crazy day. I am here.
Okay, well, very good. Also joined by the co-host, one of the three co-hosts of Mighty Marvel Geeks. And you can hear that on Sorcerer Radio, part of the Sorcerer Radio Podcast Network, as well as the host of the Swordcom Review, talking about Disney, Mr. Uncle Servo, Eric Allen. Hello.
Yo, how you doing? It's more like Mighty Marvel Geeks. You've got to have a little bit more, Ted Knight in your voice.
More Ted Knight. Yeah, I wish.
Yeah,
I could get that gravitas in my voice. I got nothing. But the guy who does have gravitas in his voice, Mr. Jeff Disney Davis, the news monster himself. What's up, Jeffy?
Hello, everybody. Hello. How are you?
That's pretty good. That's a good Ted Knight. I like that. Not everybody remembers the Mary Tyler Moore show, but we're dating ourselves. We're going to go round robin about this week's Disney headline news. There's so much to go into, as well as our Disney discussion. Eric, what are we talking about tonight?
We are talking about the top. I was about to say top 10. No, we don't have enough time for top 10. And plus, we're not David Letterman. Our top 5 things at Disney that we don't want to do again.
Oh, very good. Very good. And now we're going to spend the next 4 or 5 minutes going very quickly over this week's Disney headline news.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently holding for further traffic clearance.
Check out Kristen's new website, magicaljourneysvacations.com, for all your vacation needs. Disney, Universal, cruise lines, and more.
Thank you for traveling with us.
magicaljourneysvacations.com. Have her book your magical vacation today. We've got your headlines. WDW After Dark presents Disney Headline News. Kristen first. Do you have a headline story?
I just have I have one story to mention, and it is that the Abracadabra over in
say that 10 times fast.
Disney's Boardwalk Resort, it has opened. And for those of you that really haven't heard much about it, it's supposed to be a former stomping ground for famous musicians. It has cocktails, and it's kind of supposed to be like a secret magician's lounge. Of course, like I said, this just opened, so I haven't had a chance to check it out yet. That won't be till September.
Nice. Did you post your pictures on diningatdisney.com?
About this? No, not yet.
No. Okay, so it's coming. Oh, very good. I'm looking forward to that. I wonder if Harry Houdini had dined at that place. That would be really cool, huh? David Copperfield?
Yeah.
He opened it, right? David Copperfield opened the restaurant?
That's right.
Did I hear that correctly? DW60?
Yep.
Very good. Well, looking forward to that. Jeff Davis, Disney Park News.
I defer my park news to Mr. Eric Allen, who we're going to get to a little bit later.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and...
See, you could have mentioned the Gwen Stefani thing.
Oh, you see, I don't like Gwen Stefani, so
you don't.
But she's a hugger, man.
For
what is wrong with you? I love Gwen Stefani.
She's hollered back too many times at me, and when you holler back too much, I don't like it.
Holler back too much.
Are you saying that Gwen Stefani has stalked you?
Oh boy!
Well, I'm not going to confirm or deny who does or does not talk to me, but yeah.
I'm going to tweet my friend at Gwen Stefani, and I am actually friends with the band. I really, I'm gonna email Adrian right now and be like, hey, by the way, has Jeff Davis been harassing Gwen?
Or vice versa?
No. The thing is actually Aljon really does know Adrian.
Yeah, I know Adrian and Tom, and that's fun.
I like her. I like her music, but she doesn't.
She doesn't do it for you.
No, she's not Carrie Underwood, so it doesn't matter.
But she is with Blake Shelton singing now, so that's pretty cool. Did you hear? We played it. We played that.
And you want to bring that up, and I want to shoot Blake Shelton in the foot for doing that to Miranda Lambert. So
she cheated on him. Whatever. I so can't stand Miranda Lambert.
I love Miranda Lambert. So
she's trashy.
My cover band is actually covering a Miranda Lambert song.
That's how I feel about Miranda Lambert. I am not a fan.
If you do a thumbnail for this video on YouTube, I want you to put it right where Kristen has got her tongue all the way out, and all of us just going.
Okay, everybody, just run your tongue out like that, so we can have a really good picture. It's like, yeah.
All of us do it. Do a screenshot on that. Only so that'll be the cover of our podcast art for this week. It'll be.
That's right.
I tell you, no. But yeah, Gwen's a hugger. She's all good. She's all good.
I hear she is a fantastic, sweet girl. So
she is. She's a sweetheart. She really is. Fresh on the heels of Star Wars Celebration Europe and San Diego Comic-Con, a lot of Disney and Marvel and Star Wars fans were just bombarded by all the Star Wars news coming out over the past 2 weeks. Let's talk about this. San Diego, just really quick, in a brief, San Diego Comic-Con 2016, eBay declares Star Wars the biggest fandom of the last 10 years. Here are the numbers. And it's very, very interesting. Number one with $593 million, over $593 million. With number two being Batman at $216 million. These are round numbers, of course. Transformers being number three, Pokemon being number four, Star Trek at 5, Superman at 6, Harry Potter at 84. Legends of Zelda of number 8, Walking Dead with 54 million, Lord of the Rings at 41, Naruto at 11, Game of Thrones, Doctor Who, X-Men, and South Park rounding out with just a paltry 8 million.
What were these numbers for?
This is for the biggest fandoms of the past decade, according to purchases worldwide from eBay.
Okay.
And that's a pretty good barometer of how much it sells now. There's a ton of stuff that they're talking about, but I think that's a very interesting number, and that's just from eBay alone. You can magnify it and maybe buy 10 and find out how much Amazon sells online in regards to that. And there was a lot of different stuff coming from Star Wars Celebration that happened. I think the biggest winner of them all was the teaser trailer for Star Wars Rebels on Disney XD for season 3. And will Ezra be tempted by the dark side? Oh, that'll be interesting. And how about this? The return of a character that was long since forgotten. You're doing this? You're doing it?
Do it. Say his name!
Thrawn. So Grand Admiral Thrawn, the blue skin meanie, originally put and released by our Eric and I's friend Timothy Zahn, who wrote Heir to the Empire, the original expanded universe offering back in the 90s when there was a dark time, no Star Wars. He and his rest of his stories have been cast aside and put in as Disney or as Star Wars Legends. So they're not part of the canon, but now they're reintroducing him into the Star Wars Rebels, which moves closer and closer to the prequel era. And you can see on the trailer that the characters have grown up, if you will. Ezra has a new haircut. It's shorter. Sabine, who is the Mandalorian, she's got new hair. They have new armor. Kanan, the Jedi, has been blinded from his fight alongside Ahsoka Tano versus Darth Maul and Darth Vader. So, there's a lot of stuff going on here. And that was a huge reveal. And in the Star Wars Rebels panel, it was revealed, actually in an Ahsoka Tano panel in which our friend Ashley Eckstein was there, revealed to us that we may not be done with Ahsoka Tano because of the fan reaction to how the character was received. Looks like she might be coming back. And that made Ashley cry because she did not know this. She did not know that she thought that Ahsoka was over with. And so all that was revealed, as well as missing stories from Star Wars, what was Clone Wars, and where the story arc may have led. But of course, there wouldn't be any more talk about Star Wars films if they didn't get into what would become the reveals for the new Han Solo, reveals for the brand new Episode 8. And of course, another teaser trailer for Star Wars Rogue One, which I loved. It It was great. It was a teaser, wasn't a real trailer. It was more like a behind the scenes. And the cast that was released, all these great costume characters and bounty hunters, helmets and furry creatures, was outstanding. And I cannot wait for Rogue One. And for more information on that, you can check out my site at JediMouseketeer.com, where we'll be adding a lot of that backstage stuff and happenings in WDW Tiki Room, because I've been sifting through all the different audio. We'll be presenting the Mark Hamill panel. We'll also be presenting the Star Wars Rebels panel, and I'm trying to think of what else, the Future Filmmakers panel. I think we have some selected audio from that, and they'll all be separate podcasts that you can find on our feed, and select highlights on the upcoming WDW Tiki Room for this week. So be sure to listen to that. And now move on to the marvelous news with Mr. Eric Allen.
Not so marvelous to some ears, but the big thing to come out of San Diego Comic-Con, there's a lot of Marvel stuff that goes on, and we'll be discussing that during this weekend's edition of Mighty Marvel Geeks, where we'll be recapping the con along with the DC Powers podcast, trying to keep score, find out who wins. But the big story to come out as far as Disney was involved came out, and I'm just going to read the story as it was posted on the Disney Parks blog. Saturday at San Diego Comic-Con, Kevin Feige, president of Marvel Studios, announced to a packed house of fans that the Guardians of the Galaxy are coming to Disney California Adventure. Beginning in summer 2017, the outrageous and irreverent gang will appear in Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, a comically high-energy, rocking new adventure. Guests will be right in the mix with characters from the blockbuster Guardians of the Galaxy films. Deep inside his fortress-like collection, the mysterious Tanlier Tivan, also known as the Collector, that guy, is displaying his newest acquisitions, the Guardians of the Galaxy. They are trapped in customized display cases suspended over a vast abyss. Unbeknownst to their unscrupulous captor, the intrepid Rocket has escaped and is enlisting the Collector's VIP guests for help. Guests board a gantry lift, which launches them into a chaotic and hilarious adventure as they join Rocket in an attempt to break his federal guardians out of captivity. The new attraction will anchor a broader universe of superheroes that will grow over time at Disney California Adventure. This exciting new presence will transform the structure currently housing the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, scheduled to close in early 2017, into an epic new adventure, enhancing the breathtaking freefall sensation with all new visual and audio effects to create a variety of ride experiences. Guests will experience multiple random, unique ride profiles in which the rise and fall of the gantry lift will rock to the beat of music inspired by the film's popular soundtrack. Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout opens summer 2017 at Disney California Adventure. Stay tuned to the Disney Parks blog, yada yada. Twilight Zone Tower of Terror closes in early 2017. Now, just a few things that I brought up, little trivia tidbits from this morning's Sorcom review, in which I spoke at length on it. According to the 2015 park attendance, this was estimated by the Themed Entertainment Association. The attendance for Disney California Adventure was roughly 9.4 million visitors. That sounds good until you realize it's the least visited Disney theme park in America. Okay, even parks that we have over at Disney World, like Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, that are considered half-day parks, have at least 1.5 million more visitors each over that same time period. And this is not, that's roughly half the attendance of Disneyland. Now, that's not the case of like, well, you've got Magic Kingdom over here, you've got Epcot miles away this way, Hollywood Studios miles away that way. No, this is less than 100 yards apart. It's not like, well, we just don't have time to do it. This is people just not going. And what is probably the most unforgivable sin of all, a Universal park has higher attendance than a Disney park. Universal Studios Orlando has about 500,000 more. And that just can't be allowed to continue. So they are having to go, and yes, they've already spent like $1.5 billion renovating the park. You've got Cars Land, you've got Buena Vista Street, all that. But now you're going to have Marvel. And this is going to be the center stone. This is going to be the spaceship Earth of Marvel Land. And yes, as with all changes, the Boo Birds have come out. We've seen, oh, it's not Disney. Okay, never mind the fact that Twilight Zone was owned by CBS. And so Disney had nothing to do with Twilight Zone. And they're moving to a Disney-owned company. But no, it's not Disney because it's not a singing warthog or a fairy tale princess. So therefore, it's not Disney. I'm going to just stop right there because if I don't, I'll be rambling for the whole show. But this is the park with the least amount of attendance. They've got to do something. This is the park that makes the most sense to do it in because they can't bring Marvel to Orlando. Not anytime soon. That's why the whole Guardians of the Galaxy and Epcot just seemed kind of unrealistic. So, yeah, I mean, it needs a shot in the arm attendance-wise. This is more than likely going to give it there.
Look at it this way. If you're that upset that California Adventure is not going to have the Tower of Terror anymore, look at it this way. Get on a plane, fly to Orlando, go to Hollywood Studios, and ride the damn ride.
And it's a better version.
Yeah. Quit sitting just whining and complaining. I am so happy that they are deciding to do this. I think the turnaround time on this is unrealistic. Closing in early 17, reopening again in summer 2017. That's a little too quick of a turnaround, especially as long as it takes Disney to do certain things. I think that's a little unrealistic.
I think a lot of it's cosmetic.
Mm-hmm.
Probably so. Mm-hmm. The inside of that attraction, everything can be changed so easily because a lot of it is digital, type animation. Mm-hmm. That's done on the inside and can be, taken care of. But the outside, the concept art of that attraction looks next to amazing with the add-ons that they're going to do. But I just don't know if Disney can cover it in that amount of time. That's all
I think they can do it.
I'm a little apprehensive about it. Anyway, and this is coming from somebody whose favorite Marvel movie is Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm apprehensive because the up and down, out of control elevator ride system just does not lend itself to any sequence that I can remember out of the first movie. But yes, I'm going to give them the opportunity to convince me.
Yeah. Well, and of course, we haven't seen the new Guardians, and I believe they're timing it for the new Guardians movie release. Are they not?
Seems about right.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
They filmed footage for this new attraction while they were filming Guardians Volume 2.
Oh, yeah.
So this isn't just some kind of this isn't scrub actors. This isn't like voice actors doing impressions. These are the real deals. So yeah, I'll give them full credit for that.
Oh, A-list all the way, man. A-list all the way. I'm really looking forward to it. The funny thing about it is Disney made that announcement, Disney Parks, and made the video on the Disney Parks blog. Imagineer Joe Rohde was doing the video description for it. The entire time, he cannot stop looking at his earring, which is. And Kristen, tell our audience what the huge ornament on Joe Rohde's ear represents.
All the various places that he's traveled to.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Somebody better keep him home before that thing drops off entirely.
By the time the end of his career happens, that ear is going to be hanging by his belly button. I'm almost guessing, because there's going to be so much on it. It's
Will
ridiculous.
Will is in the chat room. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, lend me your ear."
I mean, Joe is practically a Dick Tracy character by now, as Kelly.
It really is. I was like, there is such thing as symmetry. You might want to share with the other ear. Just displace the weight just a tad, maybe.
It seems
aside from the ear,
your ear would hurt all the time having something pull like the weight, on your ear all the time.
Over time,
I can deal with that.
Stretches,
I don't like.
I
don't like heavy earrings. They make after a while you're like, my ear hurts. It feels like my ear is carrying too much weight. I can't imagine putting all that stuff on my ear.
You ever think
aside from his ear, okay, is Joe Rohde not really the quintessential deluxe Disney Imagineer?
Oh yeah,
that we know that he is.
He's a Disney deluxe resort.
I mean, this guy. And if he's the one behind all of this, behind Guardians of the Galaxy and everything else at DCA, we could not ask if he were ever to leave the company and go somewhere else, we would be hurting in so many different ways. I mean, it's just unbelievable what this guy
that's why
does.
he gets paid the big bucks. I mean, he really is, the Bob Gurr of this, crop of Imagineers, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool. But at any rate, I too am looking forward to it. Eric, we know Eric's looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Jeff, you're looking forward to it. Yes,
I am. But that leaves a really big question mark over Epcot, Universe of Energy, the height balloons that they were testing out last week, the rumor that Guardians of the Galaxy was going to be, implemented into that park. So Disney decided not to say anything during Comic-Con. So that leaves a big question mark over that going, what is it that they're doing? What do they have in store for us? It's a big, big question mark that a lot of people are going to be trying to answer themselves as to what they think it might be. So
speculation continues.
Yeah, it does.
Kristen, how about you? Are you down? You're down with Rocket Raccoon from the last podcast?
Yes. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I mean, their attraction is kind of like, it's nowhere near as cool as the one at Studios.
Oh yeah, of course. They got the best version of it is at Studios. Well, I think one thing that Eric touched on, which is important to note, is that it is a CBS Paramount Twilight Zone. Every year they shell out money for licensing and merchandise. Every bit of that goes to CBS. I mean, why wouldn't they want that revenue stream coming back into the park so that they can do more renovations and keep us happy? So change is difficult for people, but at the end of the day, it's all Disney, as Eric has always pointed out. It's all Disney, and so I'm excited, and it looks really cool. And I did call up the map for Disney's California Adventure, and I know we're eating into the discussion, but I just wanted to mention this. I'm thinking that they're going to be taking over a Bug's Life or Bug's Land. I think that whole area and maybe even some of the Hollywood Pictures backlot might be turned into a Marvel area. I mean, what do you all think about that?
I'm excited because I'm excited for the thought of a Marvel land, and mainly because people saying, well, we'll save it for a new gate. You're not getting any new gates at Disney in the foreseeable future. No. It's too expensive, too time consuming. You've got 4 gates in Florida, 2 gates in California, and that's the sacred number that shall remain.
I think they're eventually going to add a 5th gate.
Unless they start buying up real estate around Los Angeles.
No, I'm not talking about out there. I'm talking about 5th gate. 5th gate. There's only one park with 4 gates. Well,
so Disney 5th gate for Disney World. Nothing.
Yeah, I mean they've got plenty of land to do it, and the crowd levels are going to get to the point because they're building all the time, more and more DVC. They're looking to build more moderates. It's going to come to the point that they're going to need a 5th gate.
They're building so that people will stay on the property, because they know if people stay on the property, they won't go elsewhere. At least not as.
But you have to have a place for people to go. Not everybody wants to go and hang out at a hotel. for their trip, but they want to. If you're staying on Disney property, you're staying on Disney property to go to the parks. So unless you're there for a convention at one of the convention centers, but other than that, you're there because you want to go to the Disney parks, and at that point, you got to have a place for people to go. So, I think it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I mean, it is a matter of time. Maybe the parks
it won't be for any time soon, though.
Yeah, probably won't be anytime soon, but it may be. Let's go around robin and talk about where people can find you and your upcoming projects, podcasts, or radio shows. Jeff, let's start with you, sir.
Find me on Twitter at DW_60 and for Sorcerer Radio DW60 on Thursday mornings, 8 a.m. Eastern Time at srsounds.com.
Very good. Mr. Eric?
You can hear me on Tuesday mornings on Sorcerer Radio for the Sorcom Review. Saturday evenings on Sorcerer Radio with Mighty Marvel Geeks, which is also available in podcast form off iTunes. And you can catch me on Twitter at either Uncle Servo or at Sorcom Review.
Very good. Kristen?
You can find me at diningatdisney.com. On social media, it's Dining at Disney, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those lovely places. And you can also check out the Dining at Disney podcast with myself and Big Bubba, and that's on iTunes.
Very good. And you got a new book coming out really soon, don't you?
I do, very soon. The Epcot Dining, not Epcot Dining Guide. That's already out. The Epcot International Food and Wine Festival Guide for 2016.
Very good. Very good. And once again, you can follow me at Jedi Mouseketeer and at WDW Tiki Room. JediMouseketeer.com. Great place to check out all things Disney. And the WDW Tiki Room on Sorcerer Radio Friday mornings at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Eastern for the replay on srsounds.com. We thank Sorcerer, because Sorcerer Radio has been on for 15 years, and we're so proud, all of us, to be part of the Sorcerer Radio extended family and family of DJs there. You can also check out, of course, WDW After Dark at WDW After Dark webcast on Facebook and WDW After Dark on Twitter. There's also YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and so much more. Tweet out about it. Tweet out about the show. Tell them how much you love it and leave us those 5-star reviews on iTunes. We would appreciate it. And don't forget, our complete archive and sponsors are all there at wdwafterdark.com. Al, we've had a great time with you. Thanks once again for pressing play on this show, and we will see you all next week. Don't forget, it's better after dark. Take care.